Green season is a versatile flavor pot marinade and a must have if you do any kind of cooking. This delicious spicy blend makes use of fresh herbs and vegetables, and you easily get a lot of flavor without using heavily processed ingredients. This transforms not just your stews and curries, but it also adds loads of flavor to grilled meat and veg, soups, and it's key for making a proper Jamaican fried chicken. Hey, I'm Nick, and in this video I'm going to give you a detailed guide on Jamaican green seasoning, what it's used for, how to store it, and tips on how to get the best, most flavorful version of this Jamaican marinade. Let's get right into it. Green seasoning is actually really simple. It's made from fresh herbs and spices commonly used to add flavor to dishes. Green seasoning is, as the name suggests, green from the herbs used, but it doesn't have to be. Depending on what's used and the quantity, the color might vary. There are no hard and fast rules when making this. It really boils down to personal preferences and what ingredients are available. I have tried a variety of versions, but I'm going to show you the one that I keep coming back to every time. This is parsley. It's not typical in a traditional Jamaican green seasoning. Relative to the other ingredients, it doesn't add that much in terms of flavor, but it is green and I need to use it up. It's been in my fridge for about 2 weeks. I also have some celery. It's also not traditional, but it adds a lot of flavor. I've noticed that a lot of Jamaicans dislike the taste of celery. Let's get these cleaned and chopped up. So, green bell pepper is a really popular traditional ingredient in green season, but I personally hate it. Even though it's green, that's about it, and it adds more water than flavor, so no. This is the quintessential Jamaican herb and is key in many of the most delicious Jamaican foods. Green season is not green season without fresh thyme, but only fresh thyme though. No other thyme really matter. Dried pimento or allspice, not always in everyone's green season, but it adds so much flavor I don't usually skip it. Also, a bit of ginger ups the pungency of the marinade. Traditionally, green season was roughly chopped. You could also use a food processor for this, but I'm going to use a blender to process these. I need about half cup of oil to blend this. Water is commonly used, but water dilutes flavor, and the whole point of green season is flavor. The type of oil is really up to you, but olive oil gives me the best green seasoning. You don't have to, but I like to season the marinade. This is about 2 tablespoons of salt. Add about 2 tablespoons of dried pimento, an inch of ginger, half a stalk of celery, 2 heads peeled garlic. This is also essential in green season. I'm using 3 green Scotchy. Use less or more depending on your heat tolerance and what you might eventually use the seasoning for. Next, add fresh thyme. You can go crazy with this. It's really hard to overdo fresh thyme. This is about 5 or 6 stalks of scallion or green onion. I prefer the flavor of red scallion, but those are way harder to get and they are also more expensive. Next, add 2 medium chopped onions. Onions, like garlic, are one of those backbone ingredients in most cuisines, and Jamaica is no exception. And finally, we can add the parsley, stems and everything. I see cilantro being used in many recipes online. It's not traditional, but that's no reason to not add it. Do whatever you like with your food, as long as it's safe, delicious, and people enjoy it. Gatekeeping is stupid and being rigid is boring. Only be rigid with using fresh thyme. I can already tell that's not enough liquid for a proper blend, so I'm just adding about another quarter cup of oil. Next, we simply blend this. I like a roughly blended green season. It's a bit more versatile than a smoother blend. If your blender has a tamper, it helps a lot to get an even blend on all the seasons. I find that the less water I add to green season is the better the flavor of the final product. Yup, that smells good. Green season is not unique to Jamaica. Many other Caribbean countries have something similar but uses ingredients local to that particular country, like Trinidad and Tobago for example. Shadow benny or culantro is used extensively in their green season. Haitian ipis or Latin American sofrito are also very similar in the ingredients used and their culinary functions. Yeah, that smells damn good. This has a very nice green herby scent with a lot of pungency and aromas coming from ingredients like the ginger, garlic and pimento. There are a few ways to store green season. The first is to pour it out into an airtight container and place it in the fridge. It should be good for about a week. Another reason I like to use oil is because it keeps a lot better and doesn't go bad as fast as when I use water. You could make a really oily marinade and double how long you keep it in the fridge. You could also add a protective layer of oil on top of the green season before sealing the container to keep it fresher for longer. If you have a dehydrator, you could dry this out and make your own concentrated powdered green season. My all-time favorite way to store green season is to freeze it. Using something like an ice tray, like this silicone ice tray that I have here, or some kind of mold is great to freeze green season. You get small standard size portions, so you don't have to thaw a big batch if you need a little bit of season to drop in your rice and peas or to add a little bit of extra flavor to a soup. Freezing also means you can make a big batch in one go and use it for a while. Don't go too crazy though, because the flavor of green season drops off significantly after a couple months. After these are frozen, you can either leave them in the mold or further portion them out, or just leave them in one container. Once frozen, these stay separate and it's really easy to grab a couple out of a larger container. I wish I could say these make a nice snack or that they taste good, but no. Did you enjoy the video? Drop a comment, let me know how you make your green season and I will catch you in the next one.